We're staged for another run of nitro-fueled NHRA talk. It's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts, with Marty Hough and 10-time NHRA winner Doug Herbert. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, here are your hosts, Doug and Marty.
This is The Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for stopping by our half-hour of horsepower. Appreciate you joining us. This week, we're headed to Heartland Park, Topeka, and talking funny cars. Courtney Force has 4 straight #1 qualifiers, and Tim Wilkerson made his first final of the year in Atlanta. And we'll talk to both. The burnout is complete, and we're set to launch another edition of The Straight Line. Wherever you may be, coast to coast around the world, this is The Straight Line on Drag Racing at MRN.com, along with 4-time IHRA Top Fuel Champion and 10-time NHRA National Event winner Doug Herbert. I am Marty Hough, headed to Heartland Park, Topeka in Kansas. My friend, you were just in Kansas, but at Kansas Speedway for another event.
Right down the road at Kansas Speedway for the NASCAR race last week, and we had a big brakes event with Clint Boyer and Mobile One and the folks from the Kansas Speedway, the Kansas Highway Patrol. Had a super event over there. We gave Clint Boyer some training, and we turned him into a certified brakes instructor. He did a great job. We had some kids over there that were just had a great time. Kind of promotion for the upcoming event, and a PR event for Mobile One and the Kansas Speedway and NASCAR. We had just a great day out there. Clint was just super. We had a super fun time. And
as you said, just down the road is Heartland Park, Topeka, where we go drag racing there, usually in the late springtime where weather could be an issue. We've seen where it's been absolutely red hot there. And last year we saw mineshaft conditions where we're seeing world record type runs and track record type runs. This week, I think it's going to be a little bit of both. But talk about how Heartland Park is really affected by the weather there.
Yeah, I mean, out there you're in Kansas, you can watch your dog run away for 2 days. It's just I mean, it's flat out there. So, windy conditions. It can be really hot. Some of the hottest races I've ever been to have been there at Heartland Park. So, hard to say. The racing service is pretty good at Heartland Park. So, depending upon the weather, it can be fast. It can be good. We're a little bit up to the weather. I've also stayed there for a couple extra days for rain and wind, and there's all kinds of issues. But it's a great place. There's a big campground, not exactly like Brainerd, but it's kind of like that. They get a lot of excitement out there, and I'm sure last week a lot of the same people that went to the NASCAR race will go up the road a few miles and come over to Topeka. Yeah, and when we head to the Midwest, the conditions are really unpredictable there. I mean, like you said, it could be sweltering hot. It could be really cool. We could see wind. So there's really no way that you can adjust to it. There's a lot of places where we know, hey, it's going to be cool or it's going to be red hot, and you kind of know that. Right. When you go to Topeka, you just don't know. Well, you don't know. And another big thing about Topeka is it's about a half a mile or more towing from the pits to the starting line. So you take a long ride up to the starting line, and conditions can change in that amount of time. I mean, it's a long hike. You don't walk from the pits to the starting line. You're on a golf cart or a scooter or something. Topeka is a fun place. Can be brutal. 1993, I had one of my worst races ever when I got hauled out of there in a helicopter in a life flight, and then in 1999 we won the race and had a great weekend. So. Heartland Park, you just never know what you're going to get. And I'm sure that's going to be the same thing this weekend. Yep, and same with the guy that we're going to talk to next. Had some highs, had some lows at Topeka, and we'll talk to Tim Wilkerson next.
O'Reilly. Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and get 1 free. Clean clogged injectors and increase fuel efficiency with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I know the importance of communication. So when it came to selecting equipment for my team, I chose Racing Electronics.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win!
Oh, yeah! And so should you. With Racing Electronics, you can listen to all the raw, unfiltered, heat-of-the-moment communication between drivers and the crew.
I love you, man.
Enhancing your experience.
Unbelievable!
putting you right in the middle of the action. Go to racingelectronics.com to rent a scanner or FanVision, or see Racing Electronics and FanVision trackside at every NASCAR race.
MRN's Throwback Thursday, the greatest races in NASCAR history.
Richard Petty comes to the outside of Benny Parsons, and ladies and gentlemen, it will be Richard Petty victorious in the STP Dodge.
Listen Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on MRN.com or the MRN app.
And Dale Earnhardt has won the Daytona 500.
On demand in the MRN.com Media Center or on iTunes and Google Play.
Jeff Gordon wins the Southern 500 and the Winston Noble $5 million bonus.
Throwback Thursday on MRN.com.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Marty Hough and Doug Herbert.
Appreciate you being with us this afternoon here on The Straight Line, MRN.com. And joining us on the telephone line right now is the guy that went to his first final of 2017, driver of the Levi Ray and Shoup Funny Car. Tim Wilkerson joins us. Tim, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Hey, man, you guys are getting a little bit back there closer to your neck of the woods now. The way the car was running last week over in Atlanta, you got to have something to look forward to, huh, Tim?
Yeah, we're optimistic again. Just normal deal, fighting clutch discs and that kind of thing that gets your program upside down.
Tim, you're kind of part of a dying breed here. You know, owner, driver, crew chief. JT Stewart would always make fun of guys like you and me for doing all that stuff, but. There's not many of us left, dude.
Yeah.
How does that working out?
Well, it's still working out good. We our natural progression would probably be to have my kid drive and me tune someday. I mean, Brian Karate keeps telling me that. But that's financially that's what we can do right now, so that's what we're going to do. And it's still working out okay. I get a lot of good help. I've been fortunate over the years to find people to assist me and keep the crew going in the right direction, and I have Richard Hartman doing that now, so that's really worked out well for me. That's the best thing that ever happened to me when Terry McMillan decided to let him go and put him on the free market again. That was the best thing that ever happened to my team, I can tell you that.
Wow. What's the plan for Danny as far as driving? I know that he gets a gig here or there, either in one of your cars or somebody else. Is there a plan for 2017 with Daniel getting some seat time?
Same thing, just spotty stuff here and there. We had a match race planned, and may still do that. But Summit's opening a new store in the Dallas area in October, and we're going to coincide that with a special Summit Texas version car for that Dallas race in the fall, and Daniel's going to drive that car.
Nice.
Oh, cool. And then
really
Levi Ray and Shoup,
cool.
They've been your supporters for, forever almost. How they obviously they love drag racing, they love Liu, they love your team and what they can do at the races. How have you managed to keep that sponsorship alive and the relationship so good for such a long time?
Boy, I wish I could tell you there was a magic formula for that, Doug, but he is really a special guy. I mean, him and I we have a good relationship, and I tell everybody that I always ask him, hey, if you think this is going to be your last year, to tell me. And he's always said, if you want to keep doing it, Tim, then I'll keep doing it with you, and as long as my business is good and I can afford to, we'll keep doing it. And so obviously he sees some value in it, and he's a very astute businessman. I don't think that he would just throw good money after bad if he didn't think there was some return for his investment with his customers. But really that's what it's for. We see a lot of customers.
Well, and Tim, you and I were together on that Pro Racers board and stuff. How are you seeing the new NHRA television package? How are all these things? Are they helping open up new doors for things, or it's kind of a reorganization period, or how do you see it?
No, yeah, I hate to be a half glass empty guy, because I'm not that way. Believe me, everybody always says, you see the best in everything, Wilkerson. We don't understand how you do it, but that was pretty optimistic last year, and I think it's got to the top of the mountain and it's back on the way down now. But I hope that it changes a little. I really thought that the guy that they had last year did a pretty good job, but Doug, you've been involved with it for years. You know that they what would you call it, the upper echelon of the sanctioning body. and for some reason they do not. If it's a different idea, it doesn't hit home. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I really don't know that their own production company is what should have been done, but they were dead set on it based on the way ESPN was treating them and the value they think they were getting. But so they went on their own and did it. And last year we had some pretty good results. But you know, I personally have sponsors call me and do not like some of the paths that they see now. But I hope it gets better. You know what I mean? I mean, we're very optimistic. It's like, you know, living in the United States, you get a different leader from time to time, and you hope for the best.
There you go.
No question. As we went to the break, Tim, if Doug was talking about Topeka has been one of those places where he's been hit or miss, and that's been the same with you. You got your first national event, Wally, at Topeka in an alcohol funny car, and last year probably is a year that you'd rather forget at Topeka. Talk about going there and some of the highs and lows that you've had.
Well, it's always been a good place for us, really, to tell you the truth. We just had a mishap there last year, and, you know, you chalk that up to doing the wrong thing and go on. But, you know, the track's usually pretty decent. You know, we were a high qualified car there last year, and Matt Hagan was the only guy that run faster than us in speed. So we were pretty happy with our performance. But it's going to be a little dicey this weekend. They've got a lot of weather here. I've been driving through a lot of weather on the way there in my motorhome here. And hopefully it looks like Friday's going to be a wash. So we're going to have a short qualifying session and then a very, very sunny Sunday. So Doug will tell you that's a very dicey deal on how the track will be. When the sun comes out after rain, it's usually, you know, if they prep it, it's usually pretty damn good. But then the next day, if the sun comes out, it could be hit or miss. But Topeka's usually a pretty good track. As long as we don't get any water coming up through it, I think you'll see a lot of good times there, and hopefully we can keep our ways of going down the racetrack going. I got really mad at myself after the Houston race because we have a pretty good car, and I just kept making bad decisions. And we kind of got talking with other crew chiefs about clutch discs, and Doug will tell you this too, that what a problem clutch discs are, aren't they, Doug? I mean, they're just awful, you know. So we decided we were going to take one disc out and put a different one in, and it basically turned the car around instantly. So hopefully it'll keep its trend of giving us bones that we can chew on to go down the track, you know.
You've been one of those guys that maybe unfairly pigeonholed into Wilkerson. He's just kind of that A to B guy, and get it down the hot, greasy racetrack, whenever he needs it. But you can, when needed, and we saw that last year, you can swing for the fences and hit one out of the park every now and then. It's probably not your MO, but I think nowadays, over the last 4 or 5 years, where you've got your program where, I mean, if you need a really low run, you can pull one out of your pocket every once in a while.
Oh yeah, no, I have them stashed away. It's all a financial decision.
So, yeah, right.
I can tell you that right off the bat. I mean, if I don't mind beating it up, I mean, you try to go 385, it beats it up. I mean, it don't burn it up or blow it up, but you throw away the majority of the rods and the majority of the pistons, and you just go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So financially, I can't afford to do that every run. So I pick my battles, and I think that the even the big teams know that if the track's good and they go up there, they better not take us lightly. So, because like you say, anymore, I can throw one down with them if I'm so inclined. And so I tell you, Richard's really been big help. Him and I have got a good relationship on how the racetrack works, and he's been really helping me keep from getting in trouble and tell me, hey, listen, boss, now's the time to throw it over your shoulder and hit the home run. So
it's always good to have a guy like that around.
Yeah, no doubt.
I tell you that.
Yeah.
Tim, 21
really
21 wins and coming off a runner-up. You got to be feeling good about going to Topeka, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, we really are. I mean, we got to. All of us got to get together and do something with the Ron and Ron show over there with that stupid Napa car. We're going to do it. You know, in fact, I don't know if you guys know, I'm a Napa Auto Care Center, and even the president of Napa was at the race there that Ron won, and he come into the pit area afterwards, and he's really a good guy. His name's Dan Askin. He said, Wilkerson, I got to tell you, I didn't really care who won that race. I said, well, hell, if you didn't care, you should have told Ron to back up or something. he said, no, I'm not kidding you. So I thought that was pretty nice of him. Really, they're a class outfit. Those folks from Napa, and Ron knows he's damn lucky to have those people on his side, and Don both. I think it's a great attribute to our sport. So we need more people like that. And I think with those people being in there so strong, that's how we got advanced back in the deal. You know, John's got advanced on Courtney's car, and we need another one. You know.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we're going to dial up your buddy Courtney Force here in about 2 minutes. So, anything you want to talk to her about?
Oh man, she's the best. We got a great relationship, and we battle every weekend. And you know, you can't help that John's your dad. You know, that's not her fault.
Yep, understand.
John and I got the same relationship. He's a great guy, but you know, you make sure you tell her that I send her all my best except for when she's beside me. She knows that.
Will do. Tim, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend at Topeka.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. And Doug, don't be a stranger, man. Come in the pit area and say hi.
Thanks, buddy. All right, Tim. See you, bud.
Driver of the Levi Ray and Shout Funny car, Tim Wilkerson, joining us on the straight line. And when we return, the aforementioned Courtney Force will join us next.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
If it's time to replace your vehicle's battery, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and take advantage of our exclusive Do It Right rebate. For a limited time, purchase a Superstart Premium, Extreme, or Platinum battery and get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card by mail. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Country 500 Music Festival is back with Blake Shelton, Miranda Lambert,
You can't ride in my little red wagon.
Kid Rock, Keith Urban, Thomas Rhett, plus Brooks and Dunn, Hank Williams Jr., Jake Owen, and so much more. Memorial Day weekend at Daytona International Speedway. Single day tickets on sale now. Visit country500.com. Sponsored in part by Budweiser.
It's The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, once again, here's Doug and Marty.
Thanks for being with us on MRN.com. This is The Straight Line. Appreciate you being with us this afternoon, and joining us on the telephone right now is a person who's, there's not many people that can say that they have racked up 4 straight qualifying number ones, but she has. She's the driver of the Advanced Auto Parts Funny Car for John Force Racing. Courtney Force joins us. Courtney, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Hi, yeah, thank you for having me on.
You bet. Well, hey, tell us, what does it take? I mean, obviously, your whole team at John Force Racing is kind of like a big family, and then your brother-in-law Dan Hood is your crew chief. So how does that work? So you guys have a lot to talk about at the racetrack and also at the dinner table on Thanksgiving and stuff.
It's a lot of fun, honestly. I'm very fortunate I get to work with my entire family, even though my dad can be extremely crazy at times, or all the time. But no, it's awesome. I mean, having my sister Brittany out there, treating her on her Monster Energy car, and then Robert in the Auto Club car. Dad and I feel like we're like roommates because our trailers are connected. So it's a lot of fun, having him around all the time. But Dan Hood, like you said, he's my brother-in-law, married to my sister Ashley, and he's the one tuning on this hot rod. Him and Ronnie Thompson, and I'm so lucky to be driving this car for them because it's so much fun. Having 4 straight number one qualifiers in a row is just unbelievable to me. So I'm just excited. I'm very lucky and having a lot of fun. So hopefully we can make it 5 in a row this weekend in Topeka.
Now, the other day I saw on social media where you were attempting, let's say, to shoot some commercials for Advanced Auto Parts and some other things, and getting rudely interrupted by your dad. It sounded like old guy rap. I don't know what he was doing.
A lot of people don't know this about my dad, but he likes to make up songs, like, just at random and just start singing them. It's very strange, but very funny. Yeah, I was trying to film at our shop back here in Yorba Linda, California, and I was doing stuff for Advanced Auto Parts and for Chevrolet, and Dad was, I guess, next in line to film, and he just kind of walks in the room because I just pretty much wrapped it up, and was just shooting a little thing for social media, and he just walks in and just starts singing, and I'm like, oh my God, it's very typical, when you say
Right.
like, your parents never stop embarrassing you. It's totally true. They never do.
Hey, Courtney, with the early on in the season, your dad kind of made a split decision to change crews with Robert Height's crew, and a bunch of crew guys went from one end to the shop to the other. He did not touch yours, though. What does it say about Danny Hood, Ronnie Thompson, and the rest of the guys that he wanted to leave that team alone?
I think it says a lot. I think it shows that, my dad's pretty confident about where our team is at and, comfortable with how our car's been running. And, he would just switch our team around if he thought there was a problem. But I think he realizes that we've got a really great thing over there with our entire Advanced Auto Parts team. My crew guys, all the way up to, the crew chiefs, the car chief, Tim Fabrizi, Dan Hood, Ronnie Thompson. I mean, they really gel so great together, and I have a lot of fun working with them. They're very easygoing, and it's really easy for me as a driver to be able to work with them and be comfortable. And, Dad made the changes with his team, with, Jimmy Prost, Mike Neff, swapping it over with Robert Height's team. And I don't know how my dad does it, but he manages to pull it off somehow. I think he went on to win that next race. I don't know I can't remember which race it was, but
Gainesville.
He went on to win, of course. Yeah, in Gainesville, right after that. So, he's got a way with things. A lot of people think he's crazy in some of the decisions that he makes, but obviously I stand by him. He's the boss, so, we got to listen to what he says. And, he was able to pull it off then. So it got me excited for, this 2017 season, and makes me feel good that he was confident in the team that I've currently got.
Well, you guys are obviously running good, so that is something besides you being the number one qualifier at 4 races. Your dad's won, and Robert Height's been low ET and top speed at races, so the whole Force Racing team really has it together. What's it going to take to get your car back into the winner's circle?
Yeah, it's been really amazing. All of our teams, I think, have been performing well. I think we just need a little extra boost for our team on race day. It's been a little frustrating, but at the same time, I'm so proud of my guys because they've done such a phenomenal job. I mean, being number one qualifier 4 in a row, that's a huge accomplishment. Not, just as a female driver, for once, it's like actually, a really big accomplishment in general. So really excited to have a team that can accomplish that. And, we just got to kick it into gear on race day. I mean, we've got a fast hot rod. I think our biggest struggle is just finding the consistency with it. We know it can run the numbers, and I think our biggest challenge is actually pulling it back and trying to slow it down a little on race day because we have a little bit of a struggle with it, on a hot track. So I think it's just kind of slowing it down and figuring out, how to get this car to run a little bit more consistent. And then I think we'll be set, going rounds on race day. That's our biggest hope. But, I'm glad that we're starting to realize that now and get it figured out before it's too late. And, we're trying to get after that championship. So I think this is the right time to do it.
Doug talked about the family aspect, and you've talked about especially you and Brittany being kind of each other's support system. It's been a bit of a struggle over there on the dragster. It's not been the kind of start that they want to get off to. Have you been having to talk her off the ledge a little bit and try to get in her ear and be a bit of a boost of confidence for her since it has been kind of a slow start for the Monster team?
Yes, I definitely have. I feel bad because they've got a great team over there and good, and really great crew chiefs. It's just figuring out this car, and honestly, I'm feeling a lot better about it now. They went testing in Indiana, and I was able to be there for that and kind of watch. And this is just, before coming into this Topeka race. So I feel good about her chances this weekend. I think they've made a lot of changes, and they realize that they've got a car that they've got to work on, and they definitely did that over testing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Monster Energy car do pretty well this weekend. So I'm always there supporting my sister through the highs and the lows. I mean, this is drag racing. This is what it's all about. It's not it's not going to be easy every weekend, and I think it's the ones that can come out on top through the struggles of not having a car that's performing well or not performing well as a driver, and it's the ones that come out on top that are the strongest. So I've got a lot of faith in her and her team, and I'm really excited to watch them this weekend.
Well, this weekend going to Topeka, then you got a week off. I'm guessing you're going to probably be at an IndyCar race on that weekend off.
I am. I'm excited. It's crazy. It's from one race to the next, it's pretty constant. But I'm excited to be able to cheer on my husband in the Indy 500, and my parents are going to be out there. I'm going to have a couple appearances with Advanced Auto Parts, and just have a fun weekend. I mean, I'm excited to be a spectator and cheer him on. So we'll see what he can do.
It's going to be a busy couple of weeks for Courtney Force. Headed to Heartland Park, Topeka this weekend, then to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the greatest spectacle on earth, the Indianapolis 500, rooting on her husband, Graham Rahal. Driver of the Advanced Auto Parts funny car for John Force Racing. Courtney Force, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much.
And that's Courtney Force joining us on the Straight Line. And when we return, we'll wrap up another great edition of the show.
O'Reilly. Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and get 1 free. Clean clogged injectors and increase fuel efficiency with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcast elevates your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
One final lap in the Daytona 500. Joey Logano has the point. Junior crosses over.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
In order to maximize a vehicle's performance and efficiency, the proper adjustments need to be made based on the road ahead. That's true for both race car drivers on the track and for truck drivers hauling freight on the highway. But if your truck's equipped with the Detroit DT12 automated manual transmission with intelligent powertrain management, adjustments are made automatically based on GPS terrain mapping, maximizing performance and efficiency. Don't just want better business solutions, demand them. Learn more at demanddetroit.com.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, back to Marty Hough and Doug Herbert.
Thanks for being with us here on The Straight Line. And coming up on Memorial Day weekend, May 26th through the 28th, it is the Country 500, one of the biggest country music festivals in the country. Just to prove it, Blake Shelton, Miranda Lambert, Keith Urban, Brooks and Dunn, Jake Owen, just a couple of the acts that you'll see at the Country 500 coming up on Memorial Day weekend at Daytona International Speedway. So if you want to get involved, go to country500.com. Check out everything that they have available, 1- and 3-day passes for you, and have a great time there at the World Center of Speed, Daytona International Speedway for the Country 500 coming up on Memorial Day weekend. We were talking to Courtney Force and her busy schedule coming up. It's actually going to be 5 in a row for her because she'll go to Heartland Park. Then she's got Indy coming up, Indianapolis Motor Speedway that is. And then there's 4 in a row right after that, including the Eastern.
Englishtown, Bristol, Norwalk. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to be something. I'm going to be involved. I can't. It's top secret a little bit right now. I can't tell you.
Oh boy,
we're going to have something going on. I'm going to be up at Bristol, and we'll have a little bit of a special announcement. Maybe we can break it here on the MRN Straight Line show.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'll be reminding you. So at this point.
Because you know I love Bristol.
Well, obviously. I mean, you've won there quite a few times. And so, and it's just one of the best places to witness a drag race.
Yeah, any of our fans have never went to Bristol. You've not been to Bristol. It's called Thunder Valley. And the reason why it's Thunder Valley, yeah, there's a reason. It's a really cool place to see a drag race. So if you've got one you want to check off your bucket list, Bristol might be a good place.
Yeah, no question about that. And so it's the schedule for the NHRA Mellow Yellow drag racers and drag race teams. It's going to get hot and heavy starting this weekend at Heartland Park, Topeka. I want to thank everybody involved in the show, including Daryl Smith and Robbie Mays. So for Doug Herbert, I am Marty Hough. We will talk to you next week, and we'll have all the winners from Topeka next week here on The Straight Line at MRN.com.
You've been listening to The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Straight Line is the show for drag racing fans and was brought to you by Hercules Tires. Tune in again next Thursday on MRN.com and the MRN app. The Straight Line is also available on demand in MRN.com's Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and in iTunes or the Google Play Store. The Straight Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network.